Hello everyone. In the spirit of producing tutorials and bits and pieces for software that everybody in our industry uses, I thought I'd throw my hat into the ring by showing you a very quick demonstration of dynamic panel sizes using a little bit of Espresso and some basic, really basic modelling in Cinema 4D. It's for producing exhibition set panels and basic panels on the fly, changing them at will, and having some very, very basic kind of mathematics involved, which you don't really need to kind of think about too much. So what I've got is a very basic panel, 4 foot by 8 foot and 50mm deep, but I can change on the fly to any kind of dimension that I need to whilst working out geometry of the distance of the panels for the front. So let's say we want a 10mm thickness panel, we have that, so we can take that to 6mm. And the panel changes, but the thickness of the overall panel itself, including the back battens and the front panel, still equate to 50mm. If I wanted that to be 100mm, type in 100, the whole thickness, but the thickness of the front panel still stays the same, and the front panel will always be on the front. So once again, down to 20mm, 25mm, the thickness of the panel stays the same and the position of it stays the same wherever we go. So what I'll do is I'll start from scratch in a brand new document, and then we'll just start the whole thing from the beginning. So let's make a new document. We'll have the front panel, which is basic parametric cube. Call this front panel, and we'll make it 120 by 240. And we'll have it 6mm thick, because that's basically what our panels usually tend to be. So you can see we have a very basic panel. What we'll also do then is we'll make a rectangle. We'll have that 1220 by 2440. So that's the same size now as the panel. I'll duplicate that rectangle, and we're going to make the batten width now. So the battens are usually 25mm wide by 44mm deep, because we're going to stick with 6mm for the panel, for the front panel, and then 44mm thick to make the total thickness of 50mm. Click there. So this is our little batten effectively, and if I hide that for a second, you'll see our actual frame. We'll stick both of those into a sweep NURB, select them too, and then put them into there. So as you can see, we now have a panel that's 44mm deep and 25mm thick. Now if I turn that back on, what you will notice is if I select the front panel itself, it's slightly small. Well, it's not smaller. The actual frame, the sweep NURB frame, is too big. So we can do some really, really simple mathematics in a minute using Espresso, and that will help sort all of that out. So we have both of these objects. Let's put both of those into a null object, option G for group. Won't name it anything at the moment because we can tinker with the naming convention soon. And then we just need to put an Espresso tag on there. So tags, programming tags, Espresso. We can drop our null into the Espresso tag, because that's going to basically be our main controller. That's going to be our command center effectively. Then we can take our front panel, drop that in. Now this will be our batten dims, like so. Drop that in, and then this will be our overall frame. So that's the wide bit, the 240 by 120. So that can go into there. First what we'll do is we'll set up the overall size of the whole panel system. So if we select the front panel, spelled that wrong, let's change that. And we want all of this data to be our critical data. So what we'll do is we'll right click on that, user interface, and then copy user data interface. So that's copied all of the details for that bit there. We'll click back on our null object, go down to user data, and then paste user data. So this has taken all of this data from the front panel, and it's going to set it up into a user data system that we can kind of use to program and control everything. So as a default, we'll do from 120 and 2440, and we want the total depth of the whole panel to be 50 millimeters. So we'll type that all in. Hit OK on there. So this is now our user data here. We can change that later on if necessary, but at the moment it's not that vital. Go back into Espresso, and we have on the red dot, we have user data. This is the stuff that we've just specified. So X is the width, Y is the height, and Z is the depth. So we can link those, if I can get that to open, so we can link those straight away to the front panel. Object properties, size, X, object properties, size, Y, and then once again Z. And just literally draw a string across to there and a string across to that. So this is just controlling the front panel. So if I click out of Espresso and on top of our null object at the moment, if I type here now 800, it instantly changes that, and then 600, it will change that. Great. We can do exactly the same for the frame itself. Let's move that out of the way. So the frame, once again on the blue blob, object properties, width and height. The width will be taken from the main data. You can see that instantly changes, and then the height comes from the main data. So now we have a fairly dynamic system that we can change on the fly, and it changes everything for us. Now what you will notice is this front panel is the right size, but the frame itself is oversized. Now what we can do, we have the batten dims. We need to get the data from that so we can input that as a set of changeable data. So if we click on the width, copy user data interface, click on the null object again, and then go back to the data and then paste user data interface. So this is now the width, so this will be the batten width. And these, we'll call this overall panel size. Hit OK. Actually, we can go to batten width and set defaults at 25 mil. Okay, so batten width data is now here. So once again, we click on that. Nothing will happen because we haven't set any of this up yet. So we'll come to our red dot on the null, user data, batten width. Is that one there? And we'll also take the front panel thickness as well. So this is here. So once again, we've copied it already, but we'll copy it again. Use the data interface, copy that, take that, and then we'll do paste. So this will be front panel thickness. We're only working the Z depth. None of the other two matter, but I don't know how to delete them at the moment. And we want to set that as a default of 6 mil. And once again, come down to here, user data, front panel thickness, and only have the Z data. So these are the only bits and pieces that you need to worry about here. Our batten width will be 25 mil. And what we need to do is subtract 25 mil from the width of the actual frame itself. We can do that quite easily with a little bit of Espresso again. So new node, Espresso, calculate math. We need to do this as an integer because there's going to be two sets of numbers coming from two different sources. So we'll have integer. Now the input 1 will be the total width of the panel, the total height of the panel, and the input 2 will be the width of the actual battens that we have itself. So batten width will be input 2, so at the moment it's 25mm, and then the height will be the Y depth, so the height minus 25mm will go as an output from there to the height of that. We've got add at the moment, we need to make that subtract. So you can see that instantly drops down to the right size. Press command, drag that up so that duplicates that, and we do exactly the same principle for the width. So we've got the batten width is subtracted from the batten width, no, the actual panel width, and then that goes to the overall frame, and that shrinks down. So if I move that back to 0 point, you'll see it's all exactly the same now. Now if we click on here, we can change this to, I don't know, 800 by 400, and it's all exactly the same size, all as it should be. We'll adjust the positioning of this lot soon, it's easy enough. But at the moment it's actually working reasonably well. So what we can now do is the batten width. So we have batten dims. Click on the blue bit, object properties, height, blue bit, object properties, width. The batten width will link to the batten width, and the batten height is relative to the front panel depth that we have here. So if once again, if we have the battens themselves are 44mm and the front panel is 6mm, then that comes to a total of 50mm, which is what we want. So the panel thickness the panel size subtract the front panel thickness will give the batten height. So once again we'll copy that. Panel thickness is our second input. We subtract from that the depth of the overall panel, which is what we put into one of the inputs, and then the output number will come up to the batten depth. So once again, if we want to make it 100mm, make the whole thing 100mm, but if we go to this frame here, this little bit here on the batten dims, you can see it's done the calculations where it's taken 6mm off it every single time. Now if we have front panel depth of, let's say, 20mm, so again we go to batten dims, it's taking it down automatically to 80mm to give you a total depth of 100mm. Don't want to do that, I want to take that back to 50. Let's link our panel thickness up with the front panel thickness here. So we have this little link here, so we'll link that up to that. Then just making sure that everything is set to 0 on all the axes. What we need to do now is take a new maths node, Espresso, calculate maths. We'll have divide, and our second input is always going to be divided by 2. And then we take the z-axis, input the z-axis, so that's the depth of the thing, divided by 2, which will globally shift the front panel to the front, and that should link up with that. Now if I do that line, let's see what we've got. So for some reason it's 20mm, let's take that to 6mm, and you'll see that the whole thing dynamically changes. So 20mm. Because we have an overall depth of 50mm, it will adjust the back frame as well. So if we look inside there, that will adjust there. So if we have 6mm, the front panel becomes 6mm, and the depth of this front of the actual frame itself will become 44mm. Again, if we take that to 10mm and make the whole depth 100mm, it will dynamically change the batten depth, but it will also change the position of the front panel itself. We can change the frame thickness or the batten depth, so the batten width itself we can have it at 50mm. Once again, it won't change the overall size of the panel, it will just change the inner dimensions. We can have 100mm thick battens, 44mm depth, but it will still only change the inner dimensions, so it's not going to expand outside the size of the actual panel. So 25mm, back to that, 44mm deep, we'll take that back to 6mm, and that will change all of that. Now the other thing we can do for naming conventions, instead of having everything named as null, what we can do is if we take that data there, click on that, expressions, set driver, go to the null object and go to the basic information for the null object where it says null at the moment, right click on the name and then do set driven, and that instantly updates the whole null object to the size of the panel that we're working on. So if we go from 1220 to 440 by 50mm, not only will it change the actual panel itself, so we have everything neat and tidy, but it also changes the naming convention up here, so that works dynamically as well. Now for some reason it puts two special tags in there, that's easy. Double click on the first one, which gives you naming convention, cut that, go back into our original one with all our main programming and just paste it back into there. So that's all neat and tidy inside one espresso tag, and then you can delete that one because that's now empty, so that can go. That's pretty much it. Now if you're doing, obviously if you're doing a long run of panels, you can stick that inside a MoGraph cloner, there's no big deal. Or if you're only doing one or two, maybe just set up an instance, where are they? There they are. So you can just kind of step and repeat that, and if you've got some other special ones that need to go in, obviously do that. Now the only thing to bear in mind is if you do instances and then you suddenly need to change the panel, if you go to the master panel, make that 800 by 400, it will change both the panels, but it won't change the instance's naming conventions. You just need to keep that in mind. Let's probably keep an eye on that. Now the other thing we can do with this user data here, we can tidy that up a little bit. So if you go into manage user data, add group, we'll call this group frame batten dims. So if we go and take that one into there, so that's now, no it's not, why is that not doing that? So let's delete that. So add group, batten dims, then batten width can be a sub-member of that. There we go. Then add another group, we'll call that overall panel size. That's a group, so that can come out to there, and then we'll put the user data in there, and then front panel thickness. I have another group, front panel thickness. We'll put that outside, and then we can add that as a subset of that. Now that will tidy up our user data here, so it's just a bit more logical. Once again, with the front panel thickness, you don't need to worry about the X and Y, you're just working with the Z. So we can take that to 10 or 20. And that'll adjust it automatically. Once again, 1220 to 440. Okay, I think that's more or less it. If you've got any issues, give me a shout. I can kind of walk through it a bit more. If you've got any other suggestions of any other tutorials you'd like me to walk through in Cinema 4D, then obviously I'd be happy to do that as well. But for now, thank you very much.